Sunday morning, so I'm off to Jesus' house and I'm taking the bus there today. Hop on the bus and then walk a little bit of the way just to get to church. It's raining when I get off the bus, so luckily I've got my umbrella and I don't have far to walk anyway. As usual, the marshals are already here doing their thing, and this marshal looks like he's dressed for the Nigeria match later on today. Now, if you don't know, Nigeria is playing in the finals of the African Cup of Nations today. So I see the green, white, green, and I'm assuming that it's a patriotic thing, but I may be wrong. I start taking pictures as soon as I get in, then I go to the bathroom to change from my trainers to my heels, and I bumped into these ladies in the bathroom. I get in time for fresh fire and I go into service, sit beside my dear Dilly and take part in fresh fire. Obviously, after fresh fire, there's like a 10-15 minute break before the service starts. So lots of hugging and chatting and catching up just before the main service starts. I actually think I'm beginning to become a bit of a nuisance. But you know what? I don't care because I need you guys to see what's happening in church. So I'm going to be a nuisance. Annie led us in prayers for the nation, and then Bumi led us in prayers for the persecuted church. And Pastor led us to pray for King Charles. And then Pastor went straight into preaching, and these are the things he said that have stuck with me today.
You and I are primarily spirit beings. Everything in the natural realm, in the material, physical realm, has its origins in the spirit realm. There's a certain level of prayer to possess the promise of the kingdom, the precious prize of the promises that God has made for his children. There's a certain level of prayer that must be intense, severe, ferocious. There's a dimension of prayer where the Spirit uses a righteous indignation to take a person to that level of violence. Our weapon of choice. The Bible tells us in Ephesians 6 verse 17, is the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. In a war, you wield that sword violently. Your aim is to decapitate the enemy. What does the word of God say about those circumstances? Does this line up with the kingdom? Is this God's will? And it is not that some suffering, some hardship is not God's will. I always say to people that in this university of life, I do not want the enemy to choose the causes I go through. All my electives are chosen by heaven to help work out their plans and purposes for me. If they choose an elective that involves a challenge, a difficulty, some suffering, so be it. The grace, as he told Paul, is available for it. But let some Satan not sit somewhere and start to choose the causes that I will go through in life. That cannot happen. Will you not apprehend what is yours? You were saved to fulfill destiny, to fulfill a purpose. Are you going to sit there and allow the enemy to chat the cause, or are you going to apprehend that for which Christ apprehended you? Somebody needs to arise and say, enough is enough. I must break this fallow ground. I am tired of this situation. It doesn't add up. It doesn't look like the kingdom. It cannot be God's will. I am tired of it. I must break out. I must break through. I must break forth. I must align with God's plan. And you know, there's no. And there's times for that. No. You know, sometimes you say no, and people listen. Isn't that the case? Sometimes you say no, people listen. But there are some stubborn people until you say no. Will someone not rise up and say no? No to messing up my child like this. No. Not on my watch, not in my time. No. That's why I'm the mother. That's why I'm the father. No. Won't you fight for what has been said to be yours? You're not asking for what is not yours.
I can definitely see the places in my life where some violent prayer is needed. Thanks, PAI. These are the people that I got to see in church today.
Oh, I know Jesus is here.
Decided to get some exercise by walking home. I figured that, I can. So I did. Had to go over this bridge to get, it was a bit of a maze trying to work out how to get across to where I needed to be. But I was extremely thrilled to get to the top of this bridge and see that I could take a picture with Jesus' house in the background. There it is. And look at Jesus' house. Ooh, lovely. Yes, so I walked and I walked and I walked and I walked. And I say I walked. I strolled. I really took my time. It's nice to be able to get a close-up picture of this thing that I've always wondered what it is. It says welcome and it's really quite pretty, but not entirely sure. But it was nice to see it from different angles. Walk past this place called Zaza. I've driven past it many times. I think it's time I come here for, breakfast or something. Zaza. And in case you thought that police didn't work on Sunday, here's proof that they do. Making so much noise. What is going on in London today? What a lovely car. Akiwale, please note. Somewhere in my head, it made sense to walk through the park. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. It was just muddy, squelchy. Well, actually, that's because I went off the beaten track, but really, still. Ay, ay, ay. That's a nuka. Oh my gosh. Sometimes the shortcut is just not worth it. Gosh, I'm so unfit. Can you hear how I'm panting? Goodness gracious. Took everything in my power not to sit down on these seats and just stay. In fact, take a nap.